So mid-December 2025, Leica gifted all Q3 owners with a brand new camera. Sort of. They pushed out a firmware that makes the Leica Q3, Q343, and Q3 monochrome feel new again. And I hadn't had a chance to update it yet because of Christmas and all the family stuff, but I recently updated the camera, and in fact, it really does feel new again. One of the things that I really love about Leica when I switched over to it is the Leica's photo app. And when you open that app, right away, your camera says that there's an update available. And I was like, what's going on? What's happening right at the end of the year? And when I looked into it further, I saw that the update was actually quite huge. And to my surprise, when I finally did the firmware update recently, the camera feels completely different. So let's walk around, take some photos, and I can talk about all the new things that I absolutely love about the camera and why it makes it feel new again to me. And we can talk about some of the things that I hope they're able to introduce in a future update. Now, a lot of the features and updates that I'm going to be talking about, a lot of people might say, well, we've had it in our cameras for years. And that's great. I'm happy for you. But they weren't available on my camera. And now I'm just happy that I now have access to those features as well. I guess the first thing that we can talk about is the fact that they completely cleaned up the menu system. They consolidated a few things, removed a few things, and overall, it feels less cluttery, more sleek, and is in line with the SL3. So both the two cameras, which I think a lot of people use as a pairing, now have the same menu system so things don't get confusing. What I love about it is the fact that pretty much everything is now touchscreen. You can change all the different settings, all the different customizations is all done via touch, whereas before some things were touch and some things weren't. The reason why I like that everything is now available via touchscreen is because of two things. It just simply eliminates the confusion, because before some things you could operate via the touchscreen and some things you couldn't. And when you're working in a fast-paced situation, eliminating that confusion is great. And two, it allows you just to work faster because you don't have to dive into the actual menu system. You can just change all your settings via the main screen while you're shooting. I also love that you can now customize every single item on the menu screen to be exactly to the functions that you use most often. So the camera and every single touch point on the menu screen is basically a giant custom button. So depending on how you shoot, what you prioritize, the camera can be the exact tool that you need for yourself and your work. The way the menu on the back of the LCD is now arranged also is a big improvement. They did a couple little things. One, they made it so that the icons can either be on a more black background or it can just be on a transparent background and give you more space to see your image, and the icons look like they're just floating over top. Now, one other thing that they changed that they didn't have before is that when you shot in vertical before, all the menu icons just stayed in the horizontal format. But now when you're shooting vertical, the icons actually rotate. And a small change like that is such a nice quality of life improvement. And for me, I appreciate that very much. Again, it makes it easier for you to work quickly because you can see all your settings and you never have to flip the camera to check to see if you have the right settings that you need while you're shooting. One of the things that they did, which to me is the biggest upgrade, is that they improved the autofocus a lot. Before, you'd have to be pretty intentional whether you used autofocus single versus autofocus continuous. But now, with the vast improvements, I usually have my camera in AFC all the time. The tracking has gotten a lot better. It isn't perfect. It will stick to the subject, but if there's a lot of subjects passing across the subject that you're trying to track, it sometimes jumps to different objects or persons. But if you move the tracking square, it'll find the subject that you're tracking again super easily, and it does stick quite well. They've consolidated the focusing options, so now it's way more simple. It's the zone and multi-field as one, and then you have field and spot as a consolidated option. And then the very last one, as I mentioned, is tracking, and it has the intelligent tracking for eye and face, or eye, face, and body. And it has different types of animals, dogs, all that stuff, birds. And now it's pretty much in line with the autofocus systems that I have been used to in the past. Now, because they consider their line of Q3 cameras a hybrid system, they also improved the L-log, and I've shot a decent amount of video with this camera using L-log, and I personally thought the colors looked great. I don't think they needed to improve it, but if you're watching this video right now, some of the clips in this video will be filmed with the Q3. I will mark those clips, and from grading it, I will, in a future long-term video, let you know if the improvement is big or not, because I have some clips filmed before the update, and I'll be filming a bunch of clips after the update. So we will see if that L-log improvement really was needed, or if it was a big improvement after all. One thing that a lot of people had an issue with that didn't really bother me was the startup time of the camera. I didn't really feel like it hindered me, but I guess for a lot of people, they didn't like that. And now it's really improved. So when you turn on the camera, it turns on right away. And the problem really persisted when the camera was inactive for a while, and then you turn it on, it took a little bit of time to come on. But now the speed that it turns on is exactly the same as when you're turning on and off constantly while you're out and about shooting. Another benefit of that is that when you try to connect the camera to the Leica Photos app, it connects way, way faster, and all the transfers seem to happen a lot faster as well. As I said in the past, the Leica's Photos app has been one of the better photo apps that I have ever used. You can download your photos super easily. You can download the RAWs, you can download the JPEGs, you can apply your Leica looks super fast. And even since I've got the camera, they have already added 5 new looks. So they're really committed to not only their cameras, but the app and improving it, taking user feedback. And with that said, there are a few things that in the future I would like to see, because they didn't make that change in this version. The first thing that I would love to see is that now when you rotate your camera from horizontal to vertical, the menu items switch. But when you go to review your photo, if you take a photo in sort of the portrait and you want to review it and you turn your camera, it doesn't swap. The photo stays as this tiny little vertical on this big screen. Now, the second thing that I would love to see improved is if they even further separated the photo settings from the video settings. Right now, they have it a little bit separated. For example, let's say in photos, I have it on autofocus tracking for animals or birds or cats or whatever. But for video, I had it on body, eye, and face. Those two settings don't interact with each other. If I can switch back and forth, then the autofocus setting stays the same. But as an example, in video, if I have my shutter speed set on the dial at 1/50, when I swipe over to photo, that shutter speed gets transferred. And sometimes when I'm working quickly and I try to take a photo, a shutter speed of 1/50 is a little bit too slow, and then my photos aren't fully sharp because there's a lot of motion blur introduced. So it could be cool. I think Fuji does this. I was reading somewhere where all the dials are set to photo, And so those settings stay the same. And then for video, all the touchscreen stuff can be set separately. So you could set the shutter speed on the touchscreen for video, and then you could set the shutter speed on the dial for photos. And that could be nice. And hopefully they take that into account. And those are really the only two things that I think could further improve this camera and make it that much better. All right, so I guess those are just some of the things that were improved on this camera that I felt like I wanted to talk about, because those are the things that are most important to me. But the list was super long with all the improvements. And to be honest, at the end of the day, I'm just grateful that Leica has continued to listen to feedback, take some of the things that they know they could work on and actually work on them and implement it. The update was so easy to do. When I got that notification on my app, I literally paired the camera, hit update, and within a couple minutes, basically, I felt like I had a new camera. And honestly, I've already loved shooting with this camera so much, and all these improvements just make it that much more fun and that much more easy to shoot the photos that I want to shoot and get the videos that I want to get. So that's pretty much it. If you like this video, consider like, subscribing, all that good stuff, and we'll see you in the next video. So as always, live passionately, stay inspired. Bye.